precious things love has in store. We have all the love in the world. If that's all we have, you will find we need nothing more. Every step of the way.
As I mentioned in my review of You Only Live Twice, despite being pretty much synonymous with the role of James Bond, to the point that the poster for that film proclaimed Sean Connery is James Bond, he had made the decision to quit for various reasons. One of these reasons was a lack of development for the character of James Bond, and this isn't surprising considering how the film series jumped around Fleming's novels, starting with the 6th, then going to the 5th, then the 7th, 8th, and then to the 11th. It also didn't help that the series continued to move further away from the books. It's a shame Connery didn't stick around for one more, because Eon Films addressed many of these issues with the 6th film, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, based off of the 10th novel. This would also be the single most faithful Bond movie to its source material, and the one that gave the character the most development. To replace Connery, Eon Films decided on a virtually unknown actor, George Lazenby, who had done very light acting work before the movie and had mostly done work as a male model. The casting of Lazenby would prove to be the most controversial decision in 007 history, as he is often criticized for his acting, mostly his straightforward delivery of one-liners, a sharp contrast to the suave and witty Connery. Lazenby also only ever played Bond once, initially turning down a 7-picture deal due to his agent telling him spy movies would soon be passé. Lazenby must have believed it when On Her Majesty's Secret Service failed to make as much bank as the previous films, and decided not to reprise the role, a decision he'd later regret, as the relatively poor box office return for this film was mostly due to poor marketing. Though many feel that Lazenby was miscast, and a lot of people call him the worst Bond ever, in the years since the film's release he's become more and more appreciated, with his performance and the film in generally growing on people. Personally, I think Lazenby is great, although Sean Connery was amazing in the role and made it his own. Lazenby's Bond is much closer to the character in the novels, and Lazenby has the good sense not to try to imitate his predecessor and simply did the best job he could. As for the film itself, well, let's take a look at the plot. In the movie, Bond starts off by rescuing the beautiful Tracy DiVincenzo, played by Dianna Rigg, from a group of thugs. She would later turn up in the film as the daughter of mafia boss Marc-Ange Draco, played by Gabriel Verzetti, and as a love interest for Bond. Bond returns to his home office, where his boss M tells him he's being relieved of his current operation, Finding Blofeld, due to the lack of results. Bond becomes angry and attempts to resign from Her Majesty's Secret Service, though Miss Moneypenny tricks him and replaces his resignation letter with a request for a 2-week vacation. Bond comes face to face with Draco, who has noticed the connection between him and his daughter and wants Bond to court her, offering a £1.5 million dowry in case they get married. Bond is reluctant, as he's enjoyed being a bachelor, but agrees to see Tracy, and the two do eventually fall in love. Draco also helps Bond track down Blofeld, believing him to be disguised as a count in Switzerland, and is trying to be recognized as nobility by the College of Arms ace genealogist Sir Hilary Grey. Bond returns to home office and gains permission to be back on the case of hunting Blofeld, who in this film is played adequately by Telly Sevalas. Now, while it sucks that Donald Pleasence didn't return for the role, I guess it fits. After all, in the books, Blofeld is a master of disguise who looks radically different in the 3 novels he appears in. Bond goes undercover as Sir Hilary Grey and is welcomed into Blofeld's fortress, where the villain is pretending to run a clinic to cure allergies. All of his patients being beautiful women from all over the world. In the film's most interesting and amusing sequences, Bond mingles with the girls under the guise of Sir Hilary Grey, who is a known homosexual, but still manages to romance 2 of the girls, gaining information about the complex and its goings-ons in the process. Way to go. Bond eventually discovers that Blofeld has the girls brainwashed and plans to use post-hypnotic suggestion to cause them to activate weapons of mass destruction all over the world, igniting global chaos. Bond's mission is compromised, however, when he's discovered as a fraud, and he escapes the compound in a thrilling ski chase and is rescued by Tracy, and the couple get to safety. However, Bond's drama isn't over as he discovers that M will not authorize an attack on the fortress, nor attempt to rescue Tracy, who wound up captured. Angered, Bond once again goes to Draco, and in one of the best action sequences in the history of the series, Bond and the Mafia storm the fortress, rescue Tracy, and escape. After this climactic battle, Tracy becomes the one and only Mrs. James Bond. However, the couple's wedded bliss is extremely short, as while driving away from their wedding, Blofeld attacks again, in a drive-by shooting, and Tracy is killed. The film ends with Bond cradling his dead wife, muttering the film's tagline, "We have all the time in the world." With a new actor playing Bond, a focus more on character development and storyline, a smaller budget, a low-key theme song by Louis Armstrong, and an emotional ending, On Her Majesty's Secret Service has been heavily criticized, but honestly, those people are idiots. This is one of my favorites, and it makes me sad sometimes that Lazenby basically got duped into not reprising the role, as I'm sure he would have grown into being 007 even more and made many great films. On Her Majesty's Secret Service is a classic, and it very much deserves the 10 out of 10 that I'm giving it.